Hey, welcome to the Southern Coop today. We're going to do, my voice sounds really, hey, anyway, welcome to the Southern Coop of 7. Getting better, aren't we? Why don't you say it?
Welcome to the Southern Coop of 7.
Much better. Okay, we're having a special video today. I thought I saw the door open. A special video with Bub, Big Bub, to talk about food allergies. I did a video last week talking about little Romeo and his food allergies, and I had 18 views within like an hour, and we only have 22 subscribers. So that told me either a lot of people are researching food allergies in general with children, or they are very interested in how we live. So I'm talking a lot with my hands if I smack you. Sorry. But I wanted to do a little sit-down interview with my baby that's not a baby anymore. He has all of his life dealt with food allergies, so he knows nothing different other than eating the way that he eats. I would like to ask him some questions. Let's see. All that, yeah. Of our everyday life and how he deals with it, and maybe things that he looks forward to, or even if it even matters, because I have even said in the past, if he could have cow's milk, he probably wouldn't drink it, because would probably be how he feels about it. So, but cheese, he would like cheese because he likes their cheese, which tastes good, but I think the other cow milk cheese, as we call it, cow milk cheese, it tastes good too. So I think probably that kind of thing he would probably be okay with, but I don't think he's going to ever, even if he could have regular milk, would drink milk. We're going to do this little questionnaire with him, get his opinion, and what's up? Right? Okay, so this is a Q&A with, we call Bub. And Bub, can you tell us how old you are?
12.
12, and you about to be So, what are you allergic to?
Milk, egg, slightly allergic to garlic, but not severe. It just makes my stomach hurt. And cashews and pistachios.
He avoids all tree nuts except almond.
Pecans.
Yeah.
Peanuts.
Peanuts. Yep, sorry. You don't avoid it. So, any outside of the peanut rim, he doesn't typically eat. So just to be on the safe side. But he was last year tested for pistachios, and it came up positive. So we knew he couldn't have cashews. Like, his cashews numbers are very high. So we knew that already. But the pistachio was kind of new for us, so thankfully he has never had a pistachio. But he does like pecans. My mom makes him toasted pecans.
Those are good.
He likes those. That's a nice little healthy snack. Okay, so question number 2. Anything that you could say that would be benefits to having food allergies?
Well, I don't really know of much, but it prevents me from some junk food. Like all Little Debbie snacks and Hostess and most of all that.
Those high-calorie
Fat-provoking foods.
Fat-provoking foods, yeah. He can't have any Little Debbies or the Hostess with the mostest kind of things. We totally skipped that aisle for him. Don't even look over there. They all have eggs, milk, everything under the sun in the label. And we have learned to be really good label readers over the years, for sure. And I'll read it, and then sometimes I'll say, here, you read this to back me up. Just to make sure. We want to be safe. So one benefit would definitely be you avoid some of the bad, unhealthy foods. What about fast foods? That's what I was thinking of.
Well, most fast food places
can't eat there. Yeah, like Sonic. I've asked, and Zaxby's. I love Zaxby's. I've asked them before about their ingredients, and they completely, I wouldn't say rudely, but completely shut me down. We've tried to eat, even at like sit-down restaurants, Applebee's. They basically told us to leave because they were probably, my thought was they were afraid. Once I said
sued,
yeah, we would do the McDonald's thing and we would sue them. But they told us that they couldn't serve us. So we left. We can't eat McDonald's. What would you say would be a downer to having food allergies? A negative to it?
I don't really know. Well, prevents me from having Well, to go to most, like, parties at church or just parties in general, like birthday parties, because of all the cake and ice cream and pizza.
Yeah. Yes. The words I used, it kind of makes us feel isolated at times. And I know people will invite us to things, and I might say, well, let's go. We'll just, try to avoid where all the cow milks and the allergens are. But he will be like, I don't want to go. And I'm sure there's probably multiple spectrums from the reasons he doesn't want to go. There's food there that he can't eat. And there's the possibility of him coming in contact, not even meaning to come in contact. His anaphylaxis when he was 5. This isn't on here, so I'll let him review my questions before I'm doing this. So this question is not on there. But do you remember when you went into anaphylaxis when you were 5?
I don't remember much of it. I remember puking all over the car seat and then saying goodbye to grandmother and granddad and then you freak out. I remember that. Yeah, and I remember when they gave me that shot of epinephrine at the hospital.
Yeah, I had to beg for that. They were waiting till he got worse when he was already bad. He needs a shot! And then you felt much better. You're like, oh, thank you. Throat closing, hives from head to toe.
I remember showing all my classmates at the pre-K up there.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, look at my Band-Aid. Ooh, look at it. Look at it.
What was it on your backside?
Just like, right here.
Okay. Don't show your pre-K friends your backside, okay? Yeah, he kept going. I think I even got it on video. What was the name of it? It started with the D. Because he would go around saying, I had a shot of the blah, and he was so proud of it. Do you know what it was called?
No, ma'am.
I don't remember. But it was cute at the time because he was still so little. He was 5, so I don't remember the whole moment. But I can remember the details of him being sick like it was yesterday because it happened very, very quickly. We knew we were at church. There had been a pizza party. And I remember being in this large kind of like general room where they put all the kids together. And they were playing Red Rover, send Georgie right over. And I remember thinking, he probably shouldn't be holding onto somebody's hand.
Because I had that bad habit of biting my nails.
He was always doing this. Even though I was like, get out of his mouth. Sorry, my chips. Yeah, I'd always try to pull his fingers out of his mouth because it didn't do any good to tell him not to do that because he would. So anyway, it was just one of those natural habits I did. Thankfully, I think after that, he stopped putting his hands in his mouth. But that particular night, they had played that game. They had had a pizza party. We did not partake. I don't even think we were there for the pizza party. We came after the pizza part, which is typically what we do. And when we got there, they started their playtime. It was at Awana at church. And when they played the game, sure enough, he touched the hand and played the game, and then his hand, this is what we were assuming happened. The doctor helps me figure all these things out. Put his hand in his mouth, and the contamination of somebody else's dirty hands, that they did not go wash their hands. He put his hand in his mouth, and somewhere it managed to go down into his system. And his body quickly went into anaphylaxis and started trying to fight out, because it's kind of like this enemy inside you is going, I don't like that, I don't like that. So it's trying to get it back out. And by getting back out, the allergens, that is, he initially started feeling kind of like his throat was hurting. I think that's what he told my parents. And they came and got me out of praise band practice, and they said, something's not right with Bub here. He is acting kind of funny, and he was kind of cuddled up to my dad. So I started checking him out, and I'm telling you, it was like within 2 to 3 minutes of me looking at him and my dad kind of saying something's not right. And my dad is not one to panic about anything, but they were like, there's something going on with him. So I didn't have a measuring spoon. I just had Benadryl, so I was almost just tempted to just pour the bottle of Benadryl down his throat. But we found a big, humongous serving spoon. I just poured the Benadryl in the serving spoon and chucked it down his throat. And I was panicking. I had the EpiPen in my hand, and I have now since practiced. And we have a little talking AccuViews now. But at the time, I had the EpiPen in my hand. I was like, I need to give him the EpiPen. But I knew I was so close to the hospital, and I should have given him the shot. Looking back, I'm like, hello, that was not smart. But I gave him the humongous spoon of Benadryl. We flew to the hospital, which, like I said, it was only like, I'd say 5 minutes away. I put my hazard lights on, and he started vomiting in the car. He had diarrhea. This is, sorry, too much information to share. Vomiting, diarrhea, hives. His throat was kind of, he hadn't lost his voice. He wasn't to that point yet. But he was getting there. We got into the ER, and it was just like the people were there. Oh, hello. How are you today? Is there anything I can... I'm like, hello, my baby is going into anaphylaxis. And I already knew these signs and symptoms because of when he was an infant, how quick it happened. So they pulled us back into a room very slowly. And they were like, we will just monitor him. I'm like, we don't need to be monitored. We need to be taken care of. So, okay, long story short. We found out at that point his allergens were severe. And this was not something that we could play with. So we have been very cautious of pizza parties, especially at church, because for some reason church functions, we're Baptist. So every Baptist has to have food at every single function. So we are very cautious of that. Going all the way back from what I was trying to say from the questionnaire here, is it can be isolating at times. We don't feel like we can go to these social gatherings because social, food, Baptist people, food. So, isolating. And that's just kind of how we feel, unfortunately. And I'm saying that from a mama's perspective, and it breaks my heart for my children because I want my children to be able to partake in these things. I want them to enjoy life and not feel like they're so separated from everyday life. So, we try our best to still participate. We just come either after the food has been eaten or when we get there. And now we have 5 kids. 3 of the 5 have severe food allergies. So we are very cautious. I do not go to any of these places without my husband because I don't have enough eyes and hands and ears to be able to make sure that, especially the little ones are sticking their hands up in their mouth or up in their nose or in their ears wherever you got a hole. You just have to be really careful with those. So on to that, do you ever feel discouraged?
Sometimes.
Can you elaborate?
Well...
Sorry. Why would you feel discouraged?
Because I can't really... I can't really... trying to search for the right word, but I can't figure it out.
Participate?
That's it. Participate in certain activities and stuff like that. I just feel kind of left out because I have food allergies and I can't really be near anyone who's had certain foods and kind of separate.
Yeah. I was just editing the video with Big Bub and his food allergies, and I realized, of course I knew it before, we went like 26 minutes on the video, and that's way too long. I'm only allotted 15 minutes of video for YouTube, so I'm breaking it into 2 segments. So I'm ending it right here where he is talking about how he feels isolated at times and very discouraged. So that's going to be part 1, and then part 2 gets a little chirpier, I think. So go ahead and like and subscribe to this video and give us some comments if you'd like that maybe could be some uplifting words, especially if you have food allergies and you deal with these things too. Or if you know him and know us, if you have any words of encouragement, we would love to read them, or even words of advice. Go ahead and leave them in the comments for us. We're willing to listen to any advice that you may have for us and appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch us. So this is going to end this video here, and then we'll do a part 2 where it continues on talking and doing a Q&A with him and how he copes with his food allergies.